Lotus Esprit Legacy, the iconic British supercar revolution. Dive into the world of the Lotus Esprit, a legendary British sports car that redefined performance, design, and innovation. From its 1970s debut to its movie stardom, this channel explores every detail, restoration, and story behind the timeless Lotus Esprit. Perfect for car lovers, collectors, and enthusiasts who live for classic speed and elegance. Lotus Esprit evolution through the years. The secret behind Lotus Esprit's timeless design. Lotus Esprit vs Ferrari 308, British vs Italian icons. Inside the engine of the Lotus Esprit Turbo. Lotus Esprit in James Bond movies, the legend lives on. Top 10 facts you didn't know about the Lotus Esprit. Lotus Esprit restoration, from rust to glory. Driving the Lotus Esprit, pure British engineering. Lotus Esprit concept cars you've never seen. Why the Lotus Esprit still rules the classic car world. Hashtag Lotus Esprit, hashtag Lotus Cars, hashtag Classic Supercar, hashtag British Engineering, hashtag Esprit Turbo, hashtag Lotus Legacy, hashtag Vintage Cars, hashtag Sports Car History, hashtag James Bond Car, hashtag Supercar Culture, hashtag Retro Motors, hashtag Car Restoration, hashtag Lotus Power, hashtag Iconic Design, hashtag Classic Auto. Lotus Esprit, Lotus Cars, British Supercar, Esprit Turbo, Classic Sports Car, James Bond Car, Lotus Legacy, Car Restoration, Vintage Lotus, Supercar Performance, Classic Auto, Lotus History, Sports Car Design, British Icon, Car Enthusiasts, Exotic Cars, Retro Supercar, Collector Cars, Timeless Design, Turbocharged Power. Lotus Esprit, Lotus Esprit Turbo, Lotus Esprit Restoration, Lotus Esprit Review, Classic Lotus Cars, Lotus Esprit Engine, Lotus Esprit Supercar, Lotus Esprit vs Ferrari, James Bond Lotus, British Supercar, Lotus Esprit History, Lotus Esprit Design, Vintage Lotus Esprit, Lotus Cars UK, Esprit Turbo Performance, Classic Sports Cars, Lotus Esprit Facts, Lotus Esprit Collector, Lotus Esprit 2025, Lotus Esprit Evolution.